This time of year, so many of us spend time outdoors. We're constantly in and out of the house.
And you know what that means. It's easy for the pesky pests, the flies and the mosquitoes, which I absolutely hate, to come in the house along with you. Well, that's where Magic Mesh promises to help. As a matter of fact, the company says if your hands are full, maybe you have a forgetful family member, you can still let the fresh air in and keep those annoying bugs out. Seems to promise a lot. So we put it to the test.
When it's warm, you'd love to open every door and let fresh air into your home. The trouble is, you'd end up letting lots of bugs into your home as well. Now there's Magic Mesh, the new type of screen door that opens easily and then magically closes itself behind you. That makes it great for pets too, because instead of scratching and whining, they can come and go as they please.
All right, now you've seen the commercial. We've got the Magic Mesh, and we're going to put it to the test. And to help us do that is our very own Brian Spiros. Thanks for inviting us into your home again.
Glad to have you.
Well, shall we give it a shot?
Let's do it. Come on.
Brian and his wife Sarah enjoy the outdoors, and the Magic Mesh seemed like a great solution. But they're not the ones who would reap the most benefit.
Basically, we have the glass slider, and we like going in and out of it, but the dog is the biggest culprit because she likes going out, but then 5 minutes later wants to come back in. You let her in, and then she's over by the door again looking at you because she wants to go back out. So you have to keep getting up and opening the screen door to let her out.
So what are you hoping this will do for you?
I'm hoping it will, stay closed so that bugs can't get in, but yet it will allow the dog to go in and out as she so chooses.
Now, are you a tool guy? I mean, if this takes a whole lot of tools, are you?
I'm a tool guy in the sense, like, if I have to hang a picture or make little tweaks to things, but if it requires, like, a lot of tools and a lot of labor, then I would be more apt just to not put it up.
And you really don't want to hire somebody to?
Not for this, no.
Okay.
I mean, that's embarrassing. Calling, can you come install my Magic Mesh?
Okay, so what do you think? How's Sarah going to do with this?
I think she will like this too. She has a tendency to like to go out on the balcony, water the flowers, sit out there, and she won't close the screen behind her. So there's many times I have to say, close this, it's not a barn, you're letting bugs in. I'm thinking she'll like this because she can just walk out and it will close behind her if it works.
All right, well, let's open it up and see what we got.
All right.
So with hopes high, Brian opened the box and pulled out the Magic Mesh along with the hook and loop fasteners, and last but not least, the instructions. After reading them thoroughly, Brian laid out the two panels on the floor, matching up the magnets and determining which end was the top. Then it came time for the hook and loop strips that had adhesive backing, which made it possible to attach the Magic Mesh to the door frame. Of course, just to make sure it was done correctly, the one who would probably use the Magic Mesh the most made sure that Brian did it right. Once the hook and loop strips were attached, it was time to find the center of the opening so that the panels would separate in the middle of the door.
So it's 36. Half of 36 is 18. All those years in math class finally paid off.
Brian aligned the right side panel with his center mark, then did the same with the left side panel. So the moment of truth, will the Magic Mesh work?
Wow, it closed.
Now for the most important member of the family, putting it to the test. It took Keely a few times to realize that it was different than the screen door.
Come on. Come on. Yay! You did it! You went through!
And with a little patience, Brian was able to teach Keely in just a few minutes how the Magic Mesh worked. So, time to see what Brian thinks of how well the Magic Mesh works on their sliding door.
How about that?
I did a good job, right?
So what do you think?
Well, it looks a lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Although at the bottom it doesn't seal tightly to the door frame, so technically bugs could get in through the underneath. And the screen itself was a little larger than the door frame, so I actually had to adhere it to the siding, which you're not supposed to do, but it worked.
So how did Keely do?
Keely did all right. Basically, she thought that it was the screen door initially. It was easy to get her out, was hard to get her back in.
Okay, so you've put it to the test. $14.99. Would you buy it?
Probably not.
Why?
Just, I don't know. I mean, it's nice, but I just think it's not worth it. I mean, it did the job, not fully, but I just would rather just close the screen door and know that there's no little holes that anything can get into. So I would opt out of buying this.
There you go. Well, it turns out that Brian was right. That gap at the bottom let the bugs and the flies and stuff in. However, got to say, Sarah, they took it down. Sarah took it to work and they put it up there where they're still using it to this very day and they're perfectly happy with it.
Oh, wow. Now, I'm with Sarah. I like going in and out, so
Right.
I'd probably use it.
Might be worth the investment.
Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life, wallabies, otters, and sloths. Oh, my. Brian Spires is at the Salisbury Zoo this afternoon.
And he's going to be giving us a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to care for the animals. Brian?
Well, Jimmy and Lisa, I got to feed the animals and clean up after them. I'm going to show you what it's like to be a zookeeper here at the Salisbury Zoo, plus find out which group of animals I don't think really liked me all too much. All that and more. Stay with us. You're watching Delmarva Life. We will be right back.